everyone. Welcome to my monthly forecast. I am Kathleen Zemansky. I'm a business feng shui master, business astrologer, and the creator of the TimeBlazr system. And I am going to give you my update for July in the year of the metal rat. So first, I'd like to let you know why I do what I do. I am very passionate about all of the Chinese metaphysical things that I do, but these are some of the people and some of the things that I like to do in my private life. So I really am very passionate about many things, and one of them is travel. So during this crazy pandemic that has certainly been shortened, but now we get to make some connections that we haven't had the opportunity because we have been connecting online and things like that. But anyway, this is my husband, Jay Zemansky, and we are up in Mendocino. We are on the beach cooking a lot of seafood. This was about a year ago, August, and we're now in Paris, enjoying a lovely meal in the Eiffel Tower at Jules Verne's. We're on a cruise here in Alaska, and all of those things are now, I don't want to say ancient history, but it might be a while before we do some of those things again. So it's always nice to go back and enjoy some of the moments, right? And this is a dinner party that we had. A lot of this came out of our garden. This was a nice garden salad that I made that we really enjoyed to wine and dine. And this is my assistant, Alice. We work together. This was at an event that we attended and I was a speaker at. So we really love to play very hard, but we like to work very hard as well. And how we can do that is because of the wonders, amazing wonders of Chinese metaphysics. So what I'd like for you to do first, if you can, is of course, I want you to comment, share, and then ring that bell to get notifications of any of the updates that we will be having. And there's several different things that we're doing along the way. And you can send any comments or questions, by the way, to hello@timeblazr.com, or any of your comments. We will be happy to answer them there as well. So my business model is person, space, and time, and spirit. So really, I am always looking at the person, which is the business astrology. Then we see what types of things need to happen to adjust the space. That's why we use feng shui. And then one of the things that you absolutely have 100% control over is choosing a good date and time to trigger the energy to benefit you. That is what we're trying to do, is benefit you the best way that we know how. And then the umbrella of all that goes over that is called Universal Gateway. In Chinese, it's called Qimen Dunjia, if you are familiar with that term. But it is the spiritual side that we can also manifest. All right, the first thing you may want to do is go over and grab your astrology chart so you can understand what we're doing over here. So go to freebusinessastrology.com. And let me just talk just a little bit about the astrology chart. There's a lot of things that are on the astrology chart on my software, but what I do want you to know is that the TimeBlazr, your personalized TimeBlazr, is based on the year, which represents your marketing, your capacity to spread your word far and wide, and it's also about your reputation. It's about your networking. Networking is so crucial right now. It's the people that you know that can help you and elevate you quicker, and with their help, spread the word about all the good work you're doing. The month of birth, that relates to your career, what you're best suited at doing, as well as your character. And then the day of birth, it's about you. This one's a very important pillar, and this one is about you, your self-development, your inner thoughts, your mindset, as well as your partnerships. And then the hour of birth is about your life purpose. This is such an important, I think, time to really look at, what am I here on this earth to do? And so this one's a very important one. It's also about your investments, about your R&D, your research and development, those types of things. Now, some of you may not know your hour of birth, but don't worry about that. You've got the year, month, day, and hour. A lot of times people just know that they were born in the year of whatever, the year of the rat or the year of the dog, and that's all they know about themselves. Now you have specific. That's 75% of the picture that you may not have realized before watching this video today. So this really is what we calculate the TimeBlazr on. All of these things are talked about in the TimeBlazr software program, but for right now, I just wanted you to know that this is the area that we calculate your TimeBlazr on. So there are two different versions that you are seeing in front of you right now. First of all, there is a basic foundational piece, and that is for everyone. And so what you can see right at a glance, this month view on the left-hand side of your screen, you're going to see some green days and you're going to see some white days. Now, the thing that we are also going to see at the beginning of each month is there's the date where the month changes from being one type of month or animal to the next. And this year on July the 6th, we have a transition point that it goes from the month of the horse to the month of the goat. And that's going to be a welcome change for a lot of people, because the horse month was actually a very challenging month and animal to deal with in this year of the rat. Now, typically, you know, a horse is all of the animals are great and have all their great attributes. It just was a little bit, it's just been a little bit trying, especially if you have a horse in your chart. So those days are going to be over on the 6th of the month, and then it goes forward for the rest of the year. And we'll just keep telling you each and every month what energies you should be looking out for. Now, the green days are by far the more vibrant days. There's formulas that, like I said, are for every person, and formulas that it's general. It's not going to change from person to person. What's going to change is on the right-hand side of the screen, which I'll talk about in just a moment. But first of all, the white days, they're going to have a little lower vibrancy, and then the green days are going to have a much higher vibrancy. Let's go on over to the personalized side. So what we're looking for here is stars, and then there's some icons on here as well. And in the TimeBlazr, you can really change up some of these things to have it viewed like you would like it to be seen, but I'm just showing you the full version of what's capable for this particular person in this month. Now, what it's going to start showing you is a star system. That's what the first thing I'd like to talk to you about. So it's going to be from 0 stars, which you're rarely going to see, but you'll most likely see as the minimum of 1 star on a day, all the way up to 5 stars, which is the maximum vibrancy. And it doesn't really matter whether it's a green day or a white day, because it's the astrology of the day, what your natal chart that I just showed you, and how that's going to relate to each and every one of the days. We'll get into the debut in just a moment. There's also a number of icons that are sprinkled throughout the month, and what they represent are typical business activities that most business owners will do either over the course of a year, the course of a month, course of a week, or any given day. So right now, what I would like you to do, and I'm going to show you how you can get your personalized TimeBlazr for free, but just listen to the strategy right now. What I want you to do is at the beginning of every month, look to see where your most opportune days are. So here's the pro tip. First of all, choose a green day. Number 2, choose the one that has the most stars. Number 3, choose the one that has the most icons. And obviously, you have to have an activity that you want to interplay over it so that you can actually have success by choosing and taking the right action at the right time every single time. So this person, wow, she actually has quite a few different opportunities. If we're just looking at the days of the week, Monday through Friday, we could look at the 10th. We also have the 30th and the 31st, actually some really nice days there. And she also has some weekend opportunities as well. So that's how you look at the month view. So what I've done is I'll show you a couple of days days in just a moment, but I want to tell you a little bit more about the goat. The goat by far in 2020 has the most favorable energy. So if you have a goat in your chart, and how are you going to find that out? Go to freebusinessastrology.com, and that's where you're going to find the chart, your natal chart. But the goat is, wow, you're very, very fortunate because you have really helpful people that just want to help you out. You have the ability, like no other animal this year, to really dissolve obstacles. So if you've had things that have been building up, and this is, if there was ever a year that we need to remove some obstacles, you probably have the best chance of doing that. So really put your animal to work, and you need to know in what area of your life. So remember, I talked about the year, month, day, and hour of birth. There's this little infographic at the bottom of the screen here. If your goat shows up in the year, it's going to be about your networking, and your month about your career, the day about your partnerships, and your hour, it's about your investments or life purpose. So you need to figure out where the goat's at. You may have more than one goat, or you may not have a goat at all. That doesn't matter, because you still can make much use of this chart, because all of these animals start to interplay with each other, either in a nice way or a conflicting way. All right, so the best friend to the goat is a horse. Now, even though the horse is having a bit of conflict with the year of the rat, it still is the best friend to the goat. So these are days that you could be using. So if you have a horse in your chart, for example, the goat is going to be a welcome change to some of the other times that have already passed for this year. Then we've got the clashing of the goat and the ox. Now, the ox is the conflict animal that is with the opposite side of the zodiac. So what that is saying is that we've got to be very careful on days that have the ox in it, especially in the goat month, because there's going to be a little conflict. With that said, I also want you to understand that a clash is not always negative, because you can have tremendous breakthroughs. So sometimes it's actually good to use a clash. If you're ready to really shake things up, and by this time this is an opportunity to use a clash for a favorable outcome. But you must use one of those green vibrant days with a very vibrant time to help you make those informed decisions. All right, so I'm just going to give you a couple of days so you can see a little bit about what the TimeBlazr is about. And remember, this is a digital calendar, and we can personalize it for you now. So I'm just going to tell you a little bit about just how to read any particular day, and it's just full of wonderful things for you. You just have to remember that this is an energetic calendar, and it's specifically programmed for your energy. So there's some things that are going to be very general, like I showed you on the month view. That's going to roll over into the days as well. So everything that you see on here is actually from that base. And then when you get your personalized TimeBlazr, you'll see where you can start making some informed decisions specifically for you, because I'm going to indicate them by some stars as well. But first of all, when you see a green day, there's 3 ways that it can show up: either an excellent day, a favorable day, or a fair day. Those are the highest priority. Excellent is for sure the highest. Fair is lowest, but it's still green. And then when you go into a non-color day or a white day, what we're going to see is either an unfavorable or an avoid day. And those are the days you really want to step back and say, okay, maybe I should do something else on these days. All right, so this is a very favorable success day where you can launch something quite well, but the best time is going to be between 3 and 4:59 a.m. and you're going, oh my gosh, that's crazy. I'm not going to get up at that time. I'll tell you how to use that in just a sec. Or 5 to 6:59 a.m. That is really the most vibrant time of the day, is this one right here. Now, there are going to be 3 different ways that the hours show up as well. Now, we have where you see I have indicated them right here in these green boxes, that it's going to be a little bit higher color of saturation of green, and it's all pluses. There will never be any mixed energy when you see a box like this. The second type is it's going to be mixed energy. So you're going to see where we have some positive, and then we also have some negative. Now, the third type, and we only have one of these today, but it can happen where you have just hour after hour like this, that we've got a purely unstable time. So even though this is a positive day, you still strategically need to look at really good days and times to perform your important tasks. So since this is so early in the morning, what you could do on this particular day is set up an autoresponder, because this is a success day. These do not come along very often. And if you see on your TimeBlazr that it would have multiple stars and multiple icons that say this is a go, go, go day, then you may want to set up an autoresponder to reach out to your clients and tell them that you're launching a new product or service, so that when they open up their email or text or however you're reaching out to them, YouTube, whatever the case may be, that they see that notification, and then they can watch your watch or listen or read your announcement. So this is something that these hours are going to switch every single day, the contents. What is not going to switch is the order of these animals. You'll notice that they're the 12 animals of the zodiac, and they are 2-hour time slots because there's only 12 animals, but it's still 24 hours. The only difference is we have a early rat hour and a late rat hour. That's the only difference, but it's still rat. They just happen to, and they're really right next to each other, but they're split on the day in the calendar, so you can understand it a little bit better. Now, these positive and negative influences, these are the information that prevail over the entire day. So we have to look at these particular terminologies, and I'm going to tell you the first one, and then once you download your own TimeBlazr, then you can look at the guidebooks and the definitions. But I did try to translate these terms into really words that are very intuitive to you, right? So if English is your first language, this should be pretty simple on what they mean. If they're not, there is a glossary of terms that you can always look at those. But basically, the positive influence, we have green light, means go, 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 go. Mentors means you're going to have some helpful people. You could be the mentor, or someone could be mentoring you. Positive outlook, things are positive. Stability means things are very stable today. And there's wealth in this. That's why we want to get something out to your clientele, right? But we also cannot negate that we also have negative influences on this day as well. So there's could be potential for accents of any level. And then it could be that there's some strings attached. So strings attached means just that it's not so clear cut and dry. And there may, if a client works with you, they may go, oh, but can I have this as well? And you have to decide whether or not you're in agreement with that. But you do have to remember that these positive would go over each and every one of these time slots for you to use. Now, you're going to say, well, what do I do with the rest of the day? You still can obviously meet your clients. You can still obviously, work on your content creation and all of that, but you just need to understand what is in the ingredients of each one of these days. Then you can make your informed decisions. That's why on this particular day, these 4 hours are actually quite energetically charged for you to get some things done. Now, when you look at your TimeBlazr, the only thing you're going to see different, and I didn't want to confuse you by putting a personal chart here, is you're going to start seeing the icons come over. You're going to start seeing the stars come over. So at a glance, you'll know exactly how to handle that, as well as you're going to see on the side of the contents of the boxes, you're going to start seeing things like 1 to 3 stars. So the stars relate to the energy of the animal, not the contents of the box. It's always astrologically connecting with you. This is, again, an energetic calendar. The energy has been distilled down for thousands of years to help the affluent and have them have more power and money. This is a way that I'm giving you more power and more money, as well as empowering yourself to lift yourself up, especially during this trying time. All right, now we have Wednesday, July 22nd, another beautiful day here, and one new piece of information here. Now, this one has what's called a quick action. So I've turned this color blue. So just at a glance, whenever you see that pop up, wow, oh, that means something's going to happen very, very, very quickly. Now, remember, the positive and the negative influences prevail over each and every time slot. So things could go very quickly in not such a good way, because the energy is stable. When you see red and minuses, avoid that time slot. Look for the green pluses, and those are the times where things can pop up very, very quickly. This is where you get those contracts signed. This is where you pick up the phone and talk to those important clients. This is where you have your webinars and things like that. And again, use these later hours or very early in the morning, however you want to look at it, that those are the times that you want to definitely send out autoresponders. I realize not everyone works a 9 to 5. Some people work weekends. Some people work more of a night shift. So, you know, you have these opportunities. Please, 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 you guys do remember, if you have a website, you have an international business. So just because your time zone, when you're waking and looking at things, there's people on the other side of the world that are very interested in things that you are doing. So our most favorable times and what you can really use this day for is for wealth and studying and training. And it's a risk reward day. A risk reward day means high risk, but high reward. So it is a very, it's a very good day, but you just want to make sure that if it is, you know, starting with a new client or sending out that contract, you know exactly what you're signing or what you're sending, and that everything's clear. Make sure that there's no, you know, typos and everything, and then just be able to be in that position of negotiating from a very strong platform. And on this day, because it's a tiger day, there are, if you have a monkey in your chart, probably not the best day to do this. All right, and I'm going to give you one more, and this goes all the way into August. Remember when I was telling you that we are looking for days within the goat month, and the goat month goes into August, because remember, the goat month did not start on July 1st. It started on like the 5th of the month. And so that's where we see the transition point of each and every month. It could go anywhere from the 3rd all the way up to even the 8th of any given month is when the energy shifts over to the next animal. So on this particular day, again, we have a favorable success day. Love this day. Very similar to the other rabbit day that we showed you earlier in the month, and it has some similar components, but as you can see, we have some very, very good times. Now, you truthfully could use this particular time slot as well from the early and late rat hour, but this is really where I really like this particular time, as well as this 5 to 6:59. So if you are going to be launching something really on this day between 5 and 6, I would personally get up. So people have asked me like, well, that's kind of messing with my routine. I'm not asking you to do it every day. You've got an important launch. Be flexible and choose those really good days and times and make something happen for yourself. So this is a day that's very good for relationships, wealth, and very good for resolving problems. This is the time of our lives where obstacles are just bombarding us from every side. So use this day to help you resolve some obstacles. And then I would be amiss to not tell you that it's not only choosing a very good day, it's also avoiding the pitfalls of a challenging day. And here's a challenging day for you. So it's an unfavorable destruction day. Absolute, probably the lowest energy that we could have is a destruction day. Why? Is because it destroys everything. I rarely use a destruction day for important activities. Very good for a couple of things though. It's very good for demolition. If you're building, you know, remember I'm a feng shui master, so we demo sites or break ground and things like that. This would be a great day to use that. Not this particular day. You want to use a green day that favors the person that is doing the demolition, and this would not be one of them. So this would be a day you want to avoid for important contract signing, launching. You'd never get anything off the ground because it's already destroyed before you even got it off the ground. Choose one of those vibrant days that I just spoke about. As well as you note, on this particular day, this doesn't always happen, but on this particular day, we do not have any positive influences. It's pretty void of that as well. We have big spender. That means avoid shopping on this day. You will burn your credit cards. They will destroy you. You will spend way more money than you had intended, as well as you will end up having some regrets about being so much in debt. So do watch this day. And remember I said the ox and goat clash. So this is a day within the goat month. That's a ox, but it does clash the goat. So do watch about that. The most unstable time on an unfavorable day, you really must watch out for those minus or all red in a box. That's going to share with you that the energy of that particular time slot, that those 4 hours are going to be quite challenging. So you may, again, maybe just finding out about the TimeBlazr and my work. So you may, it's like, well, I already have appointments on those days. Well, if you do, there's a couple of strategies that you can do. One, change the appointment. This is a system to help empower you to make right decisions at the right time. This would not be an opportune time to meet with an important client, sign a contract, or begin a new project. So I would try to reschedule, but you feel for whatever reason that you can't. Okay, I'm going to go with you really can't. Then you just need to understand during this time slot, there's going to be strings attached. There's potential for, you know, some sort of travel obstacle, anywhere from stuck in a traffic jam to an accident, flat tires, that kind of thing. It's just like, oh, you're late for the dang appointment anyway. Devious intent, somebody behind the scenes is not really helping you out. And we have disruption and, again, travel blocks. So this is really bad. So if you had to stay on this day, if you really had to stay on this day, then you could say, okay, well, then at least I'm going to, you know, try to move the meeting to 3 o'clock to 4:59, but truthfully, I would move it to an entirely different day. You still can work during this time, just avoid those really important activities. Now, for example, last month, I did a 30-day experience. We started it on a good day. There's no way that I could find 30 days in a row that at that same time slot, that would have been ridiculous to try to invite a group of people to, well, tomorrow you have to meet at this time, and tomorrow, the next day you have to meet, you know, at 3 o'clock in the morning. We know that's not how you set up a series. You trigger the energy on a very good time, and then from there you move forward to, because the energy has started you off on a good footing. Okay, so this year, in the year of the rat, this is kind of a real picture of what everybody has been experiencing. One, the meadow rat could be one of two ways. On the right-hand side of the screen, this is about fear and indecision. And I am sure just about everyone in the world, if you've got a pulse, that you have felt some sort of fear or indecision. You may have completely lost your livelihood. You may have lost a lot of your clients due to the pandemic. You may have to start completely from scratch. But there are a lot of opportunities in big disruptions like this. People are, as you know, there are certain sectors that are just crushing it. So what we could do is, again, understand what's in your chart by choosing good days and times to help boost back your livelihood. So if you want to look at it from a pictorial view, the metal rat, when things are in that fear and indecision kind of vibration, it looks like this lower right hand corner. It's frozen, blocked. It's it really is just a very hard, it just, you don't even want to be out. It looks like some sort of tundra of something on a glacier. It just looks very uncomfortable, right? But we want to get you over to clear decisions, and we can do that by having you trigger the right energy at the right time. And if you look at this landscape, this one is beautiful, reflection, clear skies. That's when the metal rat is behaving, or you're getting it to behave for you. All right, again, what I would love for you to do is like us, comment, share, and hit that bell. And if you have any comments, please send them also to hello@TimeBlazr.com. And so if you are ready for a breakthrough year, and it is time really now, more than ever, it really is time for those breakthroughs. So don't be the guy that is almost ready to get to the diamonds. Keep at it, and we can help you get there. So I told you earlier how you can get a personalized version of the TimeBlazr for yourself. Just go to free30timetrial.com, and we are not requiring a credit card at this time. So make the most of your time and productivity, and then you will be in the vibration of having the empowering system of the TimeBlazr backing all of your important activities. Okay, that's it for this month. Come back next month, where at the first of the month, we end up putting up the new analysis. So we'll see you back here in August, and have an amazing month. Good luck. Bye-bye.